According to an EU statement, the Taliban asked for help in keeping Afghanistan's airports running in weekend talks with EU officials. Both sides sent senior officials to the Qatari capital Doha for the talks, which happened just ahead of 2 weeks of negotiations between the US and the Taliban, also to be taking place in Doha. The EU's European External Action Service, or EEAS, said in its statement that the dialogue does not imply recognition by the EU of the interim Taliban government, but is part of EU's operational engagement in the interest of the EU and the Afghan people. The Taliban delegation was led by Interim Foreign Minister Amir Khan Muttaqi, accompanied by the Interim Ministers for Education and Health, the Acting Central Bank Governor, and officials from the Foreign, Finance and Interior Ministries and the Intelligence Directorate. The EU side was headed by the EU Special Envoy for Afghanistan Thomas Nicholson, with officials from the EEAS and the European Commission Service handling humanitarian aid, international partnerships and migration. The EU statement said that the Taliban vowed to stick by its promise of amnesty for Afghans who had worked against it during the 2 decades of Western-oriented rule up to the hasty exit and evacuation by the US and its allies in August. The Taliban side also recommitted to allowing Afghans and foreigners to leave if they wish so, but requested assistance for maintaining operations of airports so that could happen. The statement said that the two sides expressed grave concern about the worsening humanitarian situation in Afghanistan as winter is arriving. The EU side urged the Taliban to create an inclusive government and ensure women's rights. It also suggested that if the Taliban met EU conditions that could unlock extra financing for Afghanistan's cash-strapped new rulers, but only for the direct benefit of the Afghan people. The Taliban reiterated they would uphold human rights in the line with Islamic principles and would welcome back diplomatic missions that had closed.